NFL Sunday. Holy hell, Jerry, full blurred anonymous witness protection mode this morning. I don't know what happened. Maybe it's because it's so bright outside behind you, but very shadowy, very shadowy. Just saying, welcome to our first NFL Sunday show. Last week was weird because I had Colts tickets, and the Saturday night thing is I do want to have Saturday night shows. It's hard. It's hard after like a full Saturday of doing whatever we're doing. It's not easy to make happen. But it's week 2. It's September 15th. I have not looked at baseball yet. If I will probably have a home run lottery ticket. I will put it on Twitter for free for you guys. I don't even think we're going to touch baseball. Yankees still suck. Jerry, what's up, man?
What is so difficult about doing a show? You made it seem like it's hard.
It's like, I don't know. You're right. Don't get me wrong. You are right. It should not be that hard to be like 9 o'clock on a Saturday, because I'm probably going to be sitting on the couch for another couple hours before I go to bed anyway. Be like, hey, let's go back to the show. I don't know, chasing a 2-year-old around and then doing like whatever else I'm doing. It should hopefully be easier. Hopefully next week I'm not like super stressed and anxiety ridden about like my livelihood. You know what I mean? And make it happen. Because I wanted to go live Friday night and I was like, I'm tired and I'm not doing that. Wanted to go live last night. I was like, no, I'm tired. Appreciate you guys. Kevin, everybody. There's been a lot of love on Twitter and the Discord and the YouTube chats. Website. Thank you. Appreciate all the support there. If you guys are watching the show, appreciate you. You could be doing a lot of things right now. 10 o'clock on a Sunday morning, not having to work and all that. And you're hanging out with us. That means a lot. It means a lot. We're doing this literally and then getting in the truck or driving 3 hours home. So I might try to move a little quick.
What does that mean, Leonardo? What does that mean? Jerry looks like. Are you being sarcastic? You fucking Ninja Turtle.
He's absolutely being sarcastic. I really want to know why my AirPods wouldn't work, because like I'm just using the laptop speakers and I'm having a little bit of a hard time hearing. So I'm gonna try to figure that out for a second. But hey, we got the Raiders and the Ravens. Is that a 1 o'clock game? Hopefully I'm talking. The order of my things are weird. Let's talk about that game. I actually have not placed any bets yet, except for obviously the obvious one that you guys can probably guess. But I do have a basic outline of what I'm betting on.
Let me guess. Wait, hold on. Let me guess. CJ Stroud, 300 yards.
It's actually not that one. I forgot about that one. I probably will. I might bet that. It's the other obvious one.
Anthony Richardson, touchdown.
That's it. That would be it.
So predictable.
Yeah.
So fucking predictable.
As long as it's plus 100, I'm betting it. As long as it's plus 100, I'm betting it. It doesn't matter. It's dumb.
System Eli from now on.
I feel like it's dumb not to. I'm not a system better. I usually do for each sport, especially for NFL and NBA. I usually have one bet that I'm like, if this is here, I'm taking it every time, and it's a no brainer. Like last season NBA, Colin Sexton, if 20 plus points was plus money, yep, easy, lock it in. If Anthony Richardson touchdown is plus money, it should not be. Like I'm telling you, it should not be plus money. It should be the minus 110, minus 120s that we're seeing for a lot of these running backs and receivers. So if it's plus money, I'm taking it.
Maybe you should start betting on the angel numbers, right? This is plus 140 touchdown odds. It hits all the time. You got to trust me on that.
Do you think there are, what is that? What did they call them? For home runs, the thing that I started a war on Twitter for.
The methods, the number methods.
Yeah, do you think there are perfect numbers on?
Don't start. Don't even give them ideas. Do not start, please. I don't even know why I brought it up.
Devers versus Hey, I don't think they're gonna do that again. I know we said we're not gonna talk about baseball. What the hell? I don't know if the Yankees are going to play the Red Sox in the playoffs when Garrett Cole and Rafael Devers are both on their respective teams. Garrett Cole should not pitch against the Red Sox. Actually, maybe literally ever. Like regular season, like
he's mentally done when he sees
spring
the Red
training.
Sox.
Don't run Garrett Cole out there. A couple years ago, I think it was when I first started doing shows, I was like, I love Garrett Cole. His stuff is awesome. I worry about his mental fortitude, basically, is what I said. And it's been really solid. But we saw a little bit of that, a lot of that yesterday. That was a colossal breakdown from the reigning Cy Young winner who just lost his shit because his coach said, "Nah, you can't get Rafael Devers out, so let's just walk him." And then he gave up 7 earned runs, got like 2 guys out after that. That is wild. Yeah, don't ever let Garrett Cole pitch against the Red Sox. Skip him.
You see my 3-leg home run parlay I had yesterday?
Devers?
I had Devers.
This should have been easy.
Barely even got a chance to see pitches. I had Spencer Horwitz. Did you see what he did? 3 walks in the same game. 3 walks in one game is bonkers. And then I had Bryce Harper, and he hits 2 home runs. Just to stab me, like, you know, right where it hurts. And then the Mets end up losing the game. It's my life. I am gonna bet Rafael Devers today, right? He's got to be pissed off.
They worked fine last time.
They wouldn't even pitch to him.
I can't hear you guys. You're probably whining at me, and I don't really care. But
wait, this guy can't hear me. What's going on right now?
Them? I don't understand. I understand why they're not working. If I change the... Sorry, it's just driving me crazy.
Can you hear me at all?
Whatever.
No. Can you hear me at all?
Back to not having these on. Anyway, we started talking about the Raiders. Yeah, I hear you now. Raiders.
Okay.
And then we got I did one of my squirrels. I've been looking pretty hard at Zay Flowers. Touchdown, maybe. I think I'm going to take Isaiah Likely receiving yards, though. I don't know what the number is right now. But I don't know. That seems like a good bet after what we saw week 1.
Sure. But they're not. They got to keep Mark Andrews happy. They got to feed Mark Andrews. This is the Mark Andrews game, right? Isaiah Likely obviously went off. They showed their 12 personnel. They showed what they could do with 2 tight ends on the field. That's not going to be the case every single week. They have to switch it up. Mark Andrews, Pro Bowl tight end, one of the best in football. This is his week. And I think he does get in the end zone, plus 270. I mean, I'm going with a long shot in this game regardless. Mark Andrews in one parlay, but I was a big Trey Tucker fan last season. Obviously, very unknown, but I said this guy's going to be a valuable player for the Raiders going forward. Last week, I think he played 78% of offensive snaps, career high. He is very involved in this game, and he is a fantastic punt returner. I wish he was also returning kickoffs too, because I think if they get him in kick returns with this new rule, he may take back multiple. Instead, they got Amir Abdullah back there. I don't know. I think Trey Tucker should take both roles of both return jobs, but he's very involved in the offense. The thing I like about Trey Tucker, I think I got him at plus 950 odds. Not only can he get it receiving, not only can he get it with punt returns, but he can rush the ball. He is utilized as like a Tyreek Hill kind of just get the ball in his hands, speedster, make a play. He's going to get 1 or 2 rushing touchdowns this season too. And in a big game like this, I would not be surprised if Trey Tucker scores.
Okay. I just can't get past Isaiah Likely having 12 targets in week 1. I know what you're saying makes sense. Mark Andrews only had 2. Water's going to find its level there. Isaiah Likely had 12 targets week 1, and his line is 34.5. Man, I feel like he could have 3 or 4 targets and hit 34.5, like a 33% target share for what he had last week. I don't know. I'm gonna probably take the 35.5, and then it looks like 49.5 is close to plus 200. So 50. I'm probably gonna take 34.5 and then 50 for Isaiah Likely. And I get what you're saying. I like the long shot touchdown there too. But
did you see? You see, I'm going a little crazy. I don't know if you don't look at what I give out in the Discord, right? I don't. I don't look at your picks.
I saw that you posted yesterday morning an essay on long shot touchdowns. That's all that I know.
It was a long one. It was like a 5-paragraph essay. 5 picks. I mean, this is my favorite type of bet in all of sports. Obviously, I've had my fun betting on home runs in the past. This season's been miserable, but betting on like long shot touchdown scores and seeing it come to fruition the way you want it to,
It's
there
awesome.
is no feeling like it. I don't care what anybody says. It's like, your team's in the red zone and you're locked into the game and you're like, he's out there, get him the ball, and then he finally gets the ball. It doesn't even compare. Home runs don't even compare to getting a long shot touchdown score. So the first pick of that 5-leg, I'm gonna round robin it, but 5-leg is Trey Tucker at plus, I think it was plus 850 or 950.
Okay. Yeah. I'm probably gonna end up on Isaiah Likely yards. I also don't mind a Zay Flowers touchdown bet here. I don't know what that line is. Man, I'm just really high on Zay Flowers, and I think it's probably still decently into the plus money. Let's talk about the Chargers and the Panthers. I don't think I'm going to end up betting on this game. The Chargers defense is very gettable, but the Carolina offense is pretty awful. And for some reason, I have them as I thought they were pretty bad defensively. They don't really allow a whole lot of passing yards, maybe because they're always losing. So teams just run the ball on them. But that Ladd McConkey kid, he looks pretty good. So that's somebody I'm keeping an eye on. I don't know. Touchdown yards, I don't know. We'll see what happens. He kind of feels a little bit like Puka did around this time last season. But no bet for me in the Chargers-Panthers game. What do you got?
No, there's a few games on the slate today. There's going to be some ugly football today. This is going to be one of the uglier Sunday football slates that we're going to see this season. And this is one of the games I just don't want to touch, especially for the blowout potential. It could be an absolute rout.
Yeah, I agree. Let's move on. Saints, Cowboys. As of right now, I don't have a bet here. I will say that CD Lamb, something I like to look at is like what I call incomplete yards or potential yards. So air yards on incomplete passes. CD Lamb had not a great game for him last week. 61 receiving yards. He had 78 yards that were incomplete. So those turn into catches. He gets some yards after catch. Very easily could have had a 100 plus 125 yard game last week. Saints defense not really one to target. I think I'm going to stay away from this game, but CD Lamb for 100 yards is something interesting.
And it's probably going to be a big check down game. Alvin Kamara's reception is probably going to go through the roof. Probably a decent straight bet for people there, but this is so on the 5-leg parlay. This is my least favorite one, just because of the odds. Just I have to bet it because if it happens, it's one of those things. If it happens, I said I should have just bet it anyway. Cedric Wilson is plus 550. Played only 44% of offensive snaps last week, and he wasn't even targeted. He was pretty much non-existent out there. And obviously they have to correct that. They need him more involved in the passing game, and this is his first game back in Dallas. So I'm playing the narrative. First game back in Dallas since they moved on from him. Dolphins ended up signing him to a contract. The Cowboys felt he wasn't worth it. His career has kind of stumbled since then. Cedric Wilson, if he scores today, it's going to be one of those narratives like I should have bet it. So I have to put it in there. I wish the odds were more like Trey Tucker's at like plus 850, but unfortunately, plus 550 was the best I can do. So I will take a shot on that.
Okay. So about Buccaneers, and the Lions. I think there could be a lot of offense in this game. I think there could be a lot of passing off. Both teams have been pretty solid against the run. I've got them at 29th and 31st most rushing yards. So that's second and fourth fewest. Fifth most passing yards for the Bucks, the most passing yards for the Lions. I got to double check that, make sure that's right, because that seems a little wild. But I do believe the numbers. And a bit of a chalky pick here. I don't love it. I got quite a bit of traction in the last couple of years doing what I call the That Guys Do report. So looking at red zone targets, red zone carries without a touchdown. We know Amon-Ra St. Brown is a big part of this Lions offense. I'm very high on his capabilities. He had 2 red zone targets last week. He does not have without a touchdown. Averaged 0.6 touchdowns per game last season. So about one every 2 games anyway. Why is Joe calling me? Should I answer?
Who?
Hey, dude, we're live on the show. The chat can hear you. What's up? I think that was a butt dial. He's hung up immediately.
He butt dials you of all people and not me.
Hey, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. Apparently, he didn't really want to talk to me. But yeah, I'm gonna take Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's plus 100 on FanDuel. It looks like the best line. I'm gonna try to find. There's got to be a anytime touchdown boost somewhere. I'm gonna try to use a boost. Get that.
Could you imagine if Joke just had a Shannon Sharp moment and emailed you in the middle of getting it on?
I saw him try to call me once and I didn't answer it, but I figured he was probably gonna keep trying or.
And you're like, you're live on the show and you put it right up to the mic and you just
bad noises. Is there an anytime touchdown boost anywhere, guys? Help me.
Touchdown boost? Pick your poison. I mean, every single book is giving out a boost.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna use a boost on St. Brown. I think it's worth it. I wish it was a little bit higher, just because like fair price for him is probably about plus 100. So I don't think there's a whole lot of value in that line. But keep it simple. Yeah, Fanatics yesterday was super weird with the UFC boost. They gave me like 10% boosts. It's like, okay. One of the weirdest. I don't want to go a whole UFC thing, but in the Discord I did a whole essay on my UFC picks, and oh damn it, is it really, Dwayne? Okay, I gotta fix that then. Thank you for calling that out. I don't know when it. I think it may be because games today, it's thinking they already happened, so I need to change the date to +1. I'll fix that. I'll fix that after. I'll fix that after the show real quick. Thank you for calling that out. I noticed that with the Thursday games, and I was hoping it was going to happen this morning. I didn't have time to double check them.
Well, you got to get this under control. I mean, what's going on here with your website?
I don't want to talk about it. I'm going to have an anxiety attack, to be honest with you. Apparently, Jokes. One of the guys that work for him his name is Evil on his phone. So he tried to Siri Evil, and it called me. I don't know if that's a sign for something or what, but that's.
Well, they could have said, "I'm sorry, I made a mistake," instead of hanging up on you. And then again, no, I would have hung up on you too.
Hey Dwayne, thank you, man. Thank you for the support. Thank you for calling it out. FanDuel 50% anytime. Okay, that's pretty good. You get him up to plus 150 for St. Brown, as long as I'm not maxed like at $10 or something stupid. We good on this game? Moving on.
Yep.
I'm gonna let you go first on Colts Packers, because obviously I'm gonna have a lot to say. You got anything here?
I'm not touching this game, but I already know what you're going with.
So I've talked about this a lot before. It is kind of old head gambling rules not to bet on your own team. I think betting on your own team to win is a bad idea. Maybe outcomes in general. Like for me, I can get overly pessimistic on the Colts and bet on them to lose sometimes in games where maybe I shouldn't do that. I think props for and against your team are not only okay. I think you follow that team obviously the closest out of any of them. You're gonna have the most inside information. I guess not inside information, but I think it's a good thing to bet for and against your team for props. So I have a couple lines I really like here. Obviously, I'm taking Anthony Richardson anytime touchdown. It's plus 150 on DraftKings. It just seems easy. I'm not going to do the whole same thing every week. This guy is an alien physically. Even with guys like Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman Jr., who I'm a little bit down on actually right now, he is not only the best red zone threat on the Colts, I think he's going to end up being one of the best red zone threats in football, assuming he stays on the field. Anthony Richardson plus 150 is a stupid number. Anytime it's plus money, I'm taking it. Josh Jacobs here, I think, has a crazy day. Like, I think Joe Mixon and Josh Jacobs, Jerry, would you agree? I feel like I would evaluate them pretty similarly. Maybe I have Mixon a bit ahead of Josh Jacobs, just as like guys that I would like to have on the Colts. Maybe we saw what Joe Mixon did to the Colts last week, like 400 yards. It was crazy. Packers are going. I think they are confirmed going with. Oh my God, Willis. Jordan Love is out. Willis isn't that good at like throwing the football like at all. I think they're going to lean heavy on Josh Jacobs early, and if the Colts look anything like they look like last week and the run stop, I don't think there's going to be any reason for them to go away from Josh Jacobs. So the line is like 59.5. I don't even think I'm going to touch the straight line. I think I'm going to go straight to like 80 yards and 100 yards for Josh Jacobs. It just seems crazy. Plus 110 is his line for anytime touchdown on Bet365. I wish that was a little bit higher, although that's probably about a fair price. I'm going to be taking that hopefully with a boost somewhere as well. So like Josh Jacobs touchdown, Josh Jacobs for as many rush yards as you can think of probably. Let me see. His straight line, he's 100 yards for him is plus 400, and I'm gonna be on that. Another thing that's kind of sneaky here, I've seen a lot of AD Mitchell love for receiving yards. I think I'm gonna stay away from his receiving yards line, and like I've seen multiple people laddering up Adonai Mitchell receiving yards. I think there's a potential for that. He had a ton of deep targets last week. I say a ton. That's like 3 or 4. I can pull it up here. Jim Bob. Every time I hear Jim Bob Cooter's name, I'm just like, oh, that's a real person that has a presence in the NFL. You know what I mean? That's crazy. But he was heard him talking this week about how that connection wasn't fully there between Anthony Richardson and AD Mitchell. AD Mitchell had 83 incomplete yards last week. 83. And the average depth target was crazy. So I'm going to on Bet365, you can ladder actually longest reception. I don't know that there's going to be like a consistent Richardson and AD Mitchell connection quite yet, but I think they are going to have a couple more plays drawn up for AD Mitchell on a go route. Let me pull up some numbers here real quick. AD Mitchell on Bet365 for a 30-yard catch is plus 350. His straight line of 16.5 is kind of wild. I'm probably gonna be on that, but I think I like a 16.5 over 16.5 for AD Mitchell longest reception. I like the 20 plus 125, and then the over 29.5 on Bet365. So a little bit of a kind of a weird ladder for AD Mitchell longest reception. I don't know if that's a smart thing to do. Maybe I should just sprinkle like the 30. I don't know, but I'm gonna do something with AD Mitchell longest reception. You're not touching this game though, huh? A lot of potential in this game, I think.
I fell asleep. You were still talking about the Colts and Packers?
All right, let's talk about the Browns Jags.
I didn't say move on.
Oh, okay. You said you weren't touching this game originally.
All I said was I fell asleep. What were we talking about?
Okay, so Colts.
You were doing a ramble thing that you do, and I just fall asleep. Anyway,
I feel like I wasn't rambling. I feel like I was giving information the whole time. You know what I'm saying? But nothing for you here. Colts Packers.
The only one I'm looking at for value is Christian Watson with Jordan Reed out. I mean, I'm sorry, Jalen Reed having the injury that he has that he's going to play through. So Christian Watson, obviously, he was a touchdown machine before he got injured last season. Willis isn't the best quarterback, but at the same time, the value is the value. His over-under on his line receiving yards is 23.5, which he could do that literally with one play. So it's something I'm looking at right now. I didn't bet it yet. I have a straight bet in today for the afternoon, but I'm thinking about doing Christian Watson.
Okay. Browns, Jags. I do have a bet here, but I'll let you go first because I just talked for a long time.
Browns, Jags. You have a bet in this game?
I do.
This game might be terrible.
It might be, and Deshaun Watson looked. I mean, is that going to go down as the worst trade in NFL history?
Yeah, because of the money that they're giving him.
Money and what they gave up, and
so bad.
It's tough, and the Jags, it didn't look incredible last week either. Jaguars defense was pretty solid last year against the pass. I cannot, and I know I just talked about how bad Deshaun Watson looked, and really since in a Browns uniform, he's looked pretty bad. I cannot get over the fact that Amari Cooper had 16 yards last week with 159 potential yards. Amari Cooper had 159 yards worth of air yards that were not completed catches. Tighten up a little bit, Deshaun Watson, just a touch, and Amari Cooper goes for 80 or 90 today. So I am going to kind of mini ladder Amari Cooper receiving yards. It looks like his straight line is like 54.5 on Bally. I'll probably take somewhere around there, and then maybe a 75-ish plus 180 on DraftKings right now. And And again, Deshaun Watson could look exactly like he looked last week, and that could make me look really dumb. But I just cannot get past 159 incomplete air yards to Amari Cooper last week. Like that's a lot. That's a lot. Catch one or two of those balls, but go for 2 catches out of the 9 targets instead of 1. I think maybe he had 2 catches. Whatever.
The guy I had circled in this game for like a long shot on his props. Not really a long shot, but Elijah Moore and Deshaun Watson have a lot of chemistry. Friends off the field, on the field. They've shown chemistry last season. That is like the connection, right? Amari Cooper is obviously Amari Cooper. He's unbelievable. He's the deep threat, and he can go off for like 150 yards and 2 touchdowns any game. But the connection to watch is Elijah Moore and Deshaun Watson. So I did think about it, but this game seems like it's going to be a fucking snooze fest because the Jaguars, now the Dolphins pride themselves on their running game, right? That's their big thing. All the movement they do, the pre-snap motion, the offensive line blocks pretty well, especially in the run game, and they held the Dolphins in check in their run game. So obviously the Browns are going to try to establish the run. Then on the other side, you have a very good Browns defense. It's going to be a defensive game on both sides of the ball. So I just see the clock just ticking away, run, tick away, and just going to be probably a low-scoring game, but we'll see.
So about Niners, Vikings. Going to be we talked Monday about Sam Darnold looking pretty good. Hey, it's a little bit different of a test for Sam Darnold going up against this Niners defense now. I think we're going to find out. Was that a fluke or Sam Darnold really kind of maybe finally living up to some of the expectations after going he was top 5 draft pick, right? To the Jets. I don't have anything here. I don't know what Brandon Ayuk's anytime line is, but Brandon Ayuk is another guy had 2 red zone targets last week, no touchdowns. So we'll kind of see what happens. Jordan Mason also an interesting look here with I think McCaffrey is out again, right? But
McCaffrey's
I have nothing.
He's on IR.
Those Jordan Mason lines are probably going to be trash now. So
I'll tell you one thing. Daily fantasy is a whole different ballgame, right? So last week, one of my friends did a friendly daily fantasy like thing where everybody just joins and he does something for his stream, and I killed it. I mean, it wasn't even close. I mean, I didn't expect it to be close, but so I said this week I'm gonna join a couple contests just for shits and giggles. And Jordan Mason's like price was so low, it blew my mind. Like
he looked good too.
There are people out there that make a lot of money on like daily fantasy. That's like their thing. They don't bet. They make money on daily fantasy. And I'm just diving in a little bit. I'll just like $3 here, $3 there. But it looks like it's going to be fun because you got guys like obviously Jordan Mason, who's going to be involved in the receiving game in this game. He's not going to go off of the rushing that he had last week, but he will be involved in the receiving game, especially with Brian Flores on the other side. Brian Flores is a defensive mastermind. Whether people want to admit it or not, I know a lot of Dolphins fans that talk shit about him because of the whole Tua situation. The guy is a defensive guru, single-handedly game planned a Super Bowl. And it's because of his blitzes and his disguises at the line. There's going to be a lot of dump-offs here for Brock Purdy, which is why I took a boost on BetMGM for George Kittle. His reception line was 3.5. I think that is very fair and very good. So the odds are -160, but I used a 50% boost to get it to -110, which is the closest I can get to plus money. I think George Kittle sees at least six targets in this game. He's got to catch 4 of them. A lot of dump offs here just to get that blitz off of Brock Purdy's back.
Okay. I was about to say something and I just completely. Oh, I was going to talk about daily fantasy. Yeah, daily fantasy is something that's been really interesting to me, but I haven't fully dove into it yet because when we're just betting props, like we're betting, it's basically it's literally you against a sports book, and a sports book is like always going to be better than you. You know what I'm saying? Daily fantasy, you technically just have to be better than the people that are in your contest. But I've had a little bit of success, but the hard thing is like people that have been doing it for so long are like really good at it, and they know exactly what to look for and what the prices should be and all of that. But I don't know. Yeah, it is
The
something that's really
first,
interesting.
so like it had to be maybe 7 or 8 years ago. There was obviously no legal sports betting in New York. And I said, "Fuck it, I'm gonna do a basketball daily fantasy." I saw like an advertisement or something for it. That first week, I won like $800 off $3. It was nuts. So that was like my first thing into like sports betting was just was daily fantasy. But also, so I didn't get to the finish. So Charbonnet is also a low price value on daily fantasy. I think he was like $5,000, which is really good value. There's a few steals you can get on daily fantasy if you want to throw around $2 or $3. There's even contests for like 50 cents to win thousands of dollars. You know, it's just a lot of fun. Also, so my second bet, this is the long shot touchdown bet I have going. Obviously, Jordan Addison is out. The question is, will Sam Darnold still look good? Will he be able to get into the red zone? But if he gets into the red zone, Trent Sherfield is a very sure-handed, trusted receiver that he's going to be utilizing. I don't expect him to see a big jump in snaps. I think Naylor and Powell will probably take that role. But when it comes down to the nitty-gritty, you don't have Jordan Addison now to rely on. Trent Sherfield is going to get a red zone target. I could almost guarantee it. So at plus 900, former team a few years ago, I mean, the narrative is a little bit of a push, but we did see him go for a 75-yard touchdown the last time he faced the 49ers as a member of the Dolphins. So, and he did say it felt good. So maybe there's still a little something there, but Trent Sherfield will be getting looks, especially in the red zone. He will be on the field. He's just too sure-handed not to utilize.
So about the Seahawks Patriots, I have nothing here. Another former Jets draft pick looking okay in Seattle. I guess in the second half he did. Jacoby Brissett again for the Patriots. I don't see a ton of value in offense here, to be honest. Do you have anything here?
I do.
You got.
Let me double check. Did I post this one? Hold on. I don't want to get yelled at. Shit. I didn't post it yet.
What is it? Just to say it.
Posting it in Discord real quick.
Agreed.
I'm doing so second leg of I used my 50% touchdown boost on Mark Andrews was the first leg, and the second leg was Hunter Henry. It was plus 500 for Hunter Henry without the boost. I think I got it up to almost plus 4,000 for those two legs. Plus 3180. This game is going to be the classic. It's not going to be a high scoring game, but it just, of all the games that I could pick for like the typical running back tight end bet that I like to do, the value on this one is off the charts. Obviously, last season, the Seahawks and the Patriots, both top 6 in the league in most end zone targets to tight ends. So you already have that factor. Then you have Ramondre Stevenson, looked fantastic last week. Charbonnet taking over for running back duties here. It just seems like a crazy odds play at plus 15,000 on BetMGM to go running back tight end here. And you get a boost, and I got it up to plus 22,000. That's $10 to win $2,000 if the running backs and tight ends score in this game. And it doesn't have to be pretty or fancy. Typical vanilla offense, running backs and tight ends.
Titans. I weirdly have a couple of things I like here as well. I guess I'll go first. You were just talking a bit. Garrett Wilson, top of the list for that guy's do 3 red zone targets last week, no touchdowns. I think the more Garrett Wilson and Aaron Rodgers play together, I think that's gonna. I think Garrett Wilson is going to start looking better and better. I think Aaron Rodgers will start to look a little bit better as well. Those Jets looked awful last, in week 1. Titans is a little bit different of a test for them. I think they're going to have a little bit easier time moving the ball. I think they're going to see a little bit less pressure. I think Aaron Rodgers is going to be able to do a little bit more of what he wants to do. So I like Garrett Wilson for anytime touchdown. I think it's around plus 120. Let me double check that real quick. I don't know. On the flip side, I like Calvin Ridley receiving yards again here. I think Will Levis, we saw so many flashes last season of he'll have one really good game and then he'll have one awful game. He had a pretty bad game last week. He had a pretty bad game last week. Threw one of the worst interceptions you'll see really anybody throw. Like how do you even throw that football? I expect a little bit of a bounce back here, even though this Jets defense is legit. I haven't actually placed the bet yet. And I might end up talking myself out of it, but 119 incomplete yards for Calvin Ridley last week, and again, a lot of that was because Will Levis looked terrible. But what's his straight line? Around 44.5. That seems a bit low. Just going off target share and an average depth of target, 45.5 for Calvin Ridley, minus 110 on Fanatics, and then maybe a 75. Which is plus 320 currently on Bet365. Do you like anything in this game?
No.
Okay. Let's move on. Giants, Commanders. This seems like a terrible football game that I'm probably not going to watch and didn't even look at it. What do you think?
Can we talk about? I didn't expect this. I don't know if you expected it, but Theo Johnson had the third most routes run from a tight end position in football last week. Rookie. I mean, obviously the ceiling is very high with this kid, but I did not expect him to have an 87% offensive snap share in week 1. Now the Commanders, they got absolutely torched in the air last week. I don't know if you saw Baker Mayfield, 24 of 30, I think 286 yards,
Cruising.
4 touchdowns. There was no resistance from the Commanders, and it looks like they're going to be probably one of the worst teams in football this year. It's to be expected. Theo Johnson at plus 480 to score a touchdown today. Obviously, Daniel Jones, everybody hates Daniel Jones, right? All the Giants fans. The poor guy is getting booed. I don't agree with that. I'm not the type of guy like that. That's never been my cup of tea. Is like fans are waiting for Daniel Jones to come off the plane to boo him. Yeah. What do you think? The guy's trying to throw games on purpose? He's doing his best. The best you can do is support him, give him some confidence. Obviously, the guy is not very mentally tough, right? He's physically tough. He could take a beating on the field, but clearly he's in his own head, and doing stuff like that, you're only going to make your quarterback worse. There's just no way. It's the same thing we saw with Tua. When Tua was down in the dumps, his confidence was shot. His coach was in his ear telling him he sucks. And then his career pretty much turned around when he got a guy in his corner. So I just don't agree with everybody booing Daniel Jones. It is what it is. You got to live with it. It's money. But the Commanders' defense is too bad for me to not take a shot on Theo Johnson to score a touchdown at plus 480, especially with all the routes he's running right now. It's kind of insane. Yeah.
Rams, Cardinals, no Puka. Somebody asked earlier, did the Rams struggle without Puka? I mean, they still got that Cooper Kupp guy who's pretty good at football. I think they're okay. Tutu Atwell maybe sees a bit of a jump here in target share. So maybe that's worth a look. I do not have a bet in this game. I don't know. I kind of want to see this Rams team without Puka. It's been a minute since they've had to do this. And I'm not really interested in any Cardinals props like at all at the moment.
The Rams may have struck gold again. Have you heard of a guy named Jordan Whittington?
He looked all right.
He looked incredible in preseason. Now everybody's like, "Oh, this guy might be the guy." He is. I just don't know what role he's going to take as far as a step up. He didn't, Tutu first of all didn't really get much of a. How many snaps? I don't think he played like 2 snaps, something like that. Something very low when Puka went down. It wasn't really him that was involved. He's going to be more involved this week. But Jordan Whittington, what he showed in preseason and the value you're getting for him today is pretty insane. I don't know if his price moved at all. I got it at plus 850 yesterday. So the same odds as Trey Tucker. He's also can be a versatile return man. That's another aspect of his game. He also scored a touchdown last week that was called back on a rushing play. This is like a carbon copy of what I'm talking about with Trey Tucker, where you can get him in the running game, the receiving game, or as a return man. He is Trey Tucker is a punt returner. Whittington is a deep man for the kick return. So he may or may not get an opportunity to return a kick for a touchdown too. The guy is tough as nails. This is a prototypical Sean McVay guy. So at plus 850, This was the last leg of that 5-leg touchdown parlay. Now, I did also take just Trey Tucker and Jordan Whittington just because of this, what I said with the aspect of them being able to either run it, receive it, or return it. And I put them in a separate 2-leg parlay. It's like pretty insane odds, like $10 to win almost 900 if that comes to fruition. This is what it's all about. This is the fun part of what I do every Sunday, just looking for these value picks. If it comes to fruition, there's no feeling like it. So that's my long shot.
All right. 50% anytime touchdown score boost. Oh, it has to be on the Falcons-Eagles game on Caesars. I have found the FanDuel 50% Gronk spike touchdown boost. I think there's one on Fanatics too. I'm trying to figure out. Sorry, trying to do some things live here. Let's move on. Let's talk about the Steelers Broncos, another game that I just have no interest in. What do you think?
No thanks.
Yeah, I don't even think we need to talk about it. Like,
no. There's just ugly. Like I said, this is going to be one of the ugliest weeks of football all season. But we're still gonna have fun. We're gonna enjoy it. It's football. We're not watching baseball unless we have to. But there is going to be some ugly football. And that's why I'm looking for some value plays, to have a little fun.
Bengals Chiefs. Somebody asked about the 100% money line boost on FanDuel. I think the Chiefs maybe would be my pick on that, just because of how bad the Bengals offense looked last week. Came out that Jamar Chase is not going to be really trying to renegotiate a longer deal. I think still no T. Higgins, right? I think we're going to see a very similar looking Bengals offensive struggle. Minus 290 for the Chiefs isn't great with 100% boost. Maybe I don't even know. I don't know how that math even works. Be like what, minus 150 or something like that? Minus 140. Let me log in and see what it comes out to. That would be potentially my only real look here. I don't know. What do you think?
Jamar Chase is not going to be a Bengal after the season.
Yeah.
When a guy is this disgruntled and he's pissed off that he comes out and says that his organization misled him, usually they try to keep that stuff under wraps if they're upset, or when they come out and say it like that, he's gone. And you know what that's going to do to that locker room? They are in shambles right now. And I feel bad because Joe Burrow's an out of world talent, top 5 quarterback when he's healthy. What an absolute mess this Bengals team has turned into. I thought they were going to be contenders for years and years. It's looking like a circus that's about to fall apart. So I don't know.
I opted in on FanDuel. I'm trying to use the 100% boost. I'm trying to apply it and see what it comes out to. It's not coming up as a usable thing. Maybe I need to try it on my phone. Rashee Rice touchdown. Yeah, I'm in. I'd be in for that. Travis Kelce bounce back game. You got to think it probably happens, but he really burned me. And also, I think there's a real blowout risk in this game. I think there's a real blowout risk in Travis Kelce not playing the fourth quarter. I don't know. I've said dumb stuff on the show before, and that might be one of them. But Bears Texans, interesting Sunday night football choice. I don't really know what to make of this game. The Bears defense has looked really solid. We'll see if what's the name, the rookie for the Bears, comes around and looks a little bit better. I think we're going to see some improvement there. And I don't know. I think CJ Stroud. I don't know if I want to bet him for 300 against this Bears defense. So what do you think about Sunday Night Football?
You're taking the Bears out of their territory, though.
Yeah,
they don't have that home crowd behind them. So I would just go with your gut. This is a play you've been doing for how long now? Did you do it every week last season or multiple?
No,
weeks?
I started doing it about halfway through the season, and then or maybe a little bit more. I tend to stay away a little bit from Sunday Night Football. Is the biggest thing. The combination of if they were just playing the Bears at 1:00, or if it was just Sunday Night Football against an average to worse defense, I'd probably be in. I still very well might be in, but it doesn't seem like an automatic just run it back with a combination of those two things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just do it. Just don't. Okay. You're overthinking it. Just do it.
Pull my arm, buddy. You know what I mean?
You're gonna get better odds for it too.
Chiefs goes up to minus 145. I don't know. I still Bengals could figure it out. I don't know if I don't know if I'm laying minus 145 on the Chiefs. I guess they're at home. I don't know. Anything jumping out to you for that 100% money line boost? To me, I'm looking at it as let's try to find a favorite that we can get to dog money. You know what I'm saying? To dog odds. Like Rams Cardinals. Why is that line so close? Because of like the Rams are only minus 104. That's a little. I would expected that to be a little bit bigger. Like I don't think the Cardinals are going to be. Am I way off on that? Why is that close? Why is that so close?
They're pretty even matched, in my opinion. It seems pretty fair.
I did use the 100% boost on the Colts last week and look really dumb doing it. I mean, if this Colts team can't beat this Packers team pretty easily without Jordan Love, like I'm going to have to probably reevaluate my outlook on the Colts. I just don't know if I can run it on the Colts twice in a row without looking really, really stupid if they lose again today.
You'd probably go with the Jags at home versus a mess of a Browns offense.
That could be. So they're minus 172 with a 100% boost. And I didn't even give you a chance to talk about Sunday Night Football. I just completely took you out of that. That gets the Jags from minus 172 to plus 117. That might be worth a look. Cowboys should steamroll the Saints, but they're minus 270, so I don't think that gets to plus money. For that boost, I think I would go between the Colts, the Jags, and I don't know, the Rams. I keep looking at that Rams line. I don't know. Those will be my three to choose from.
Jets should beat the Titans. Will Levis is probably going to shit his pants about 7 times.
Jets should beat the Titans, but I still worry about the newness, all the newness on that Jets offense. But yeah, that Jets defense could make Will Levis look really silly. But also, like I said, we've seen flashes from Will Levis where it might not matter. We'll see.
I think Will Levis last season led the league in turnover percentage per play or something like that. Or he was up there. It was like 3.8 turnovers, a turnover on 3.8% of possessions. Jesus Christ. I had a stroke trying to say that.
That could be a really high scoring game, just because like I think also there's a chance he creates a lot of offense, but also creates a lot of like the defense for the Jets defense could have 2 touchdowns, and Will Levis could also have 300 and 2 or 3 passing. Like I think
he's gonna create offense for the other offense. That's what he's gonna do.
Yeah. Monday Night Football we'll talk about on tomorrow's show.
Will Levis beat his team? I mean, so what? I don't give a shit. That was last season. What? We still made the playoffs.
Yeah. Well, you're a Titans fan or no? You have anything? Are you betting Sunday Night Football? You have anything yet?
I don't have anything yet. I didn't dig into that game yet.
Well, you want to recap and get out of here?
All right. Sure. You don't got to pull my leg, pal.
The
first 2 that I did, I put it in early yesterday. I have a 5-leg all long shot touchdown scores. 4 1 p.m. games, 1 4 o'clock game. Trey Tucker, Cedric Wilson, Trent Sherfield, Theo Johnson, Jordan Whittington. I round robin by 3, and then I took on the side Trey Tucker and Jordan Whittington separate. Both of them got them both at plus 850 odds, almost a plus 9,000 parlay just for those 2 guys. So $10 to win almost $900. I took a straight bet on George Kittle versus the Minnesota Vikings. Like I said, Brian Flores is going to be sending a ton of unique blitz packages. There's going to be a lot of checkdowns. They want to get the ball out of Brock Purdy's hands. That is what their MO. George Kittle has to have a big game as a blanket for Brock Purdy. 4 receptions, using a BetMGM boost, getting it to almost even money. Then I did a 2-leg tight end parlay, which is Mark Andrews and Hunter Henry. I said that last time. It is plus 3180, not almost plus 4,000, plus 3180. Very respectable odds. And then for Seattle and New England, I did the running back tight end parlay, patent pending. I'm sure someone will make this a method play and then start a Discord if this hits. Ramondre Stevenson, Zach Charbonnet, Noah Fant, and Hunter Henry. I got this on BetMGM. They also have another boost. This boost all over the place. Use your boost, people. It was plus 15,000, which was better than any other book. Even on Fanatics, which I used to love, had this at plus 7,500. I boosted it up to plus 22,500. I put $10 on it to win $2,000. The tickets are not on my Twitter. They are exclusive to YouTube.
And heavyhittermedia.net/Discord. No baseball picks. We don't. I don't think Jerry's going to bet baseball at all today. I probably will have a home run lottery ticket. If I do, I will throw it on Twitter.
I'm betting Devers. I'm betting on Devers today.
Yeah, you have.
He's pissed.
You almost have to. All right, bets for me. Anytime touchdowns: Garrett Wilson, Amon-Ra St. Brown, Josh Jacobs, Anthony Richardson. I also like Adonai Mitchell for the Colts longest reception. I'm going to take a couple of alt lines on Bet365. I like Amari Cooper receiving yards, kind of a mini ladder. I like Calvin Ridley receiving yards. I like Isaiah Likely receiving yards, and I like Josh Jacobs rushing yards as well. That's it. That's kind of it for me right now. I might have a couple other.
Lowdown is the typical biased home fan. You can clearly see he's a Titans fan. Clearly see it. He said the Titans defense played pretty well against the Bears. The worst team in the league last year, by the way. Pretty well. Okay, one of the worst teams in the league.
Yeah. Stafford loves you. Yeah. Which two teams have a chance of both teams score? I have no idea, man. I mean, there's so much luck involved that the team the highest chance doesn't matter. Honestly, you're talking about tenths of percentage points, and they're all really low. All right, I think we're out of here. We'll be back at 6:00 tomorrow for Monday Night Football. I think that's kind of it. Appreciate your time. heavyhittermedia.net/Discord. Sign up, $25 a month. Check out the changes on the site too, on my site if you haven't already. Doing some cool stuff. It looks like it might be broken right now, so I need to fix it, I guess. But we'll see.
Don't forget to fix your website. Do that little +1 thing.
Yeah. That's what I tried to do that while you were talking a minute ago, and now nothing's working. So I got to fix that real quick. We're out of here. Appreciate your time. Thank you for watching. Good luck on all your bets. Be nice to each other. We'll see you tomorrow.